Today we are going to make a strawberry mousse Charlotte cake with a layer of strawberry jelly on top. Charlotte cake typically consists of a circular mold lined with ladyfingers or sponge cake or cookies, which is then filled with a layer of mousse or custard or cake. In this video, we are going to focus on making ladyfingers from scratch as well as strawberry mousse. Before we start, we need to prepare a template for our ladyfingers. I'm going to fill this cake with a 6-inch chiffon cake and strawberry mousse. I measured the outer cake pan and the total length is 18.5 inches. So I drew a 19 inches long and 4 inches high box to pipe the batter onto. The paper and pan are not long enough, so I divided the total length into 15 inches and 4 inches. I also have a 6-inch circle here to show you another easier option on how you can make this cake. Flip the paper over and place it on the pan. Now we'll make the ladyfingers batter. Mix a little bit of the sugar into the egg yolks. Beat it on medium speed for a few minutes until it's lighter in color and fluffy. Next, we'll beat the egg whites on high speed. If you're using the same whisk attachment to beat the yolks and whites, make sure you wash it clean after beating the egg yolks. When you see big bubbles forming, we can start adding the sugar gradually in 3 to 4 times. Keep beating until you see some stiff peaks. This is good. Scoop a little bit of the meringue into the egg yolks to lighten the texture. Now pour this into the egg whites and fold it in gently until it's all well incorporated. Next, siphon the flour. Continue to fold it until it's all combined. Transfer this to a piping bag fitted with a large round tip. Put a little bit of batter between the pan and parchment paper to secure the paper in place. I'm piping mine in diagonal so it looks more interesting. You can pipe this straight vertical if you prefer, just like the traditional way. For the remaining batter, I'm going to pipe it in a circle. Sift some powdered sugar all over the batter. Bake this in a preheated oven at 370 degrees for 10 minutes until it's golden brown. Once it's out of the oven, slide it on a cooling rack and let it cool off completely. Cover it loosely with a piece of parchment paper so it won't get too dry. Once it's cooled off completely, flip this over and peel off the parchment paper. Trim off the 3 sides. Next, we'll get the base ready. I have here a 6-inch original chiffon cake that I made yesterday. I cut it into 3 slices, with 2 of them slightly smaller round. You can make any flavor of cake you like. Simply choose one from my previous chiffon cake videos. Start with placing a cake ring mold on the board. Line it with our ladyfingers. Cut off the excess part to fit. Remember the round one we baked? This is how you can make a simple Charlotte cake. You can simply place this base at the bottom, then fill the inside with custard or pudding or mousse or no-bake cheesecake. You can trim it with scissors so it will be rounder. I like to have cake in mind, so now I will place the largest slice of cake at the bottom. Let's make the mousse. Cut some strawberries. I'm cutting mine into tiny little cubes because I want to be able to see the strawberry pieces in my mousse. If you prefer the very smooth kind, then you can puree the strawberries in a blender. Transfer the strawberries into a pot, mix in the agar-agar powder and lemon juice. Add the sugar and cook this over medium heat for a few minutes until the sugar and agar-agar powder are fully dissolved. Stir it constantly. This is good. Pour this into a different container so it can cool off slightly. Leave it at room temperature for a few minutes. Be sure to stir it occasionally so it won't set. We just don't want it to be boiling hot when mixing it to the whipped cream. Next, we'll whip some cream. Pour the heavy whipping cream in a chill bowl and whip it on high speed. We just want to thicken it up a little, not stiff. This is good. Now we'll fold in our strawberry mixture immediately. Scoop this into the cake base immediately and layer it with the other 2 slices of cake. If you are only using Ladyfingers base for this one, as I mentioned previously, and fill the entire cake with mousse, then this step will be much quicker and easier. As soon as the agar-agar mixture meets something cold, it will thicken up quickly, so we have to act quickly at this point. This is why I have the cake base ready before making the mousse. Give it a few taps and smooth out the top. Put this in the fridge to set. The cake is pretty much done at this point, but I want to add another layer of strawberry jelly on top, so I will cook a batch of strawberry jelly. Combine the agar-agar powder into strawberry puree. Add sugar, then cook this over medium heat. Same steps as before, but this time I puree the strawberries, and it doesn't need to mix with the whipped cream. Skim off the foam. Let this cool off for a little bit. Remember to whisk it occasionally when it's cooling so it's not going to set. Now pour this onto the mousse and put it back into the fridge immediately. Let it set completely before removing the cake ring. It will take 2 to 3 hours. For the finishing touches, I'm going to pipe some cream on top and add some fresh strawberries. And this is now completed. Thanks so much for watching.